In recent months, one of my coaching clients turned me on to an article on Substack called Nirav or Naval. That is the question. It's a beautiful article, and it talks about this idea of two different archetypes of entrepreneur. The first one is modeled after Nirav Tolia, who is a successful founder, really tall, handsome guy. He's on Shark Tank. Nirav is the consummate insider, and an insider loves the institution. They enjoy climbing up the ranks of a corporate ladder. They enjoy school, government, politics. They like the walls of an institution because they kind of enjoy the popularity contest that is life inside of a structured organization. Naval Ravikant, on the other hand, is the consummate outsider. He's a little bit more awkward. He's a deep thinker. He's introverted, and his ideas are entirely on his own. He's a contrarian. Outsiders, they end up being the sort of stereotypical entrepreneur in the sense that they're eccentric, they do things on their own. Even Mark Zuckerberg would sort of be the image of sort of this awkward outsider who built his own foundation. And so in modern times, it's become very popular to see oneself as an outsider. But I would argue that actually most of us are insiders. We've just sort of been conditioned out of it. Even for me, many people have assumed or labeled me as an outsider, when in fact, I have loved school growing up. And one of the reasons why I went to college so immediately and so quickly after finishing high school is because I loved high school. I loved the clubs, the organizations. I was a very popular guy. I liked the structure of grades, and my life made sense inside the organization, inside the institution. So I stuck with it. And I went to college. And really, it was one of the great tragedies of my life. In this video, I want to talk about why college is a mistake for most people, and really what you should do with your life instead, regardless of whether you're an insider or an outsider. So the first idea here is that college fosters weakness. In a typical insider organization, poor performance has repercussions. So high school is a typical insider institution because if you miss too many classes or if you get poor grades, your parents will be called up by the principal, you might get suspended. Bad things happen when you fail inside an insider institution. But college is not actually a typical insider institution in the sense that if you don't show up to classes or if you don't get good grades, no one cares. The professors don't care. If you take advantage and you go to the office hours and you do what you can to take accountability for your own education, then college is great. But college is not the typical insider institution in the sense that the institution cares whether you succeed or not. There are no repercussions. Leave aside the fact that college is wildly expensive and most curriculums inside college cannot keep up with the speed at which technology is evolving. College is in the business of taking your money in the form of tuition. It's not a performance-driven institution like a typical insider place is. So if you're an insider, you would do well inside a company or a startup where if you miss a meeting or you don't understand a task or you don't execute on something well, there are consequences. And we actually enjoy those consequences. When you have a performance review and your boss tells you right now you're just at solid performance, but you need to start exceeding expectations or you need to start performing outstanding on these categories to get a promotion, it helps you make sense. It creates a very organized mind, and a mind that's organized is happy. Even propriety and a sense of decorum. In a typical insider institution, there are standards for deadlines that need to be met, structures that need to be upheld. Even the way you dress, it needs to be presented in a certain way. How often do we see college kids rolling into class in their pajamas, hair askew, not together, and no one bats an eye? And so the college structure actually fosters weakness because there are no repercussions for your poor performance outside of grades. Those grades don't have a consequence on someone else's livelihood or performance in their company. And without those genuine stakes, not arbitrary stakes like grades, it fosters poor performance unless you're very self-motivated. So on a surface level, college seems like an insider institution because there's classes and there's structure and you're being told where to go and what to do. But really, it's very, very outsider. At 18 years old, it's why so many young people crumble inside the college structure. The second idea I want to share with you here is that you need an actual education. With some insider institutions, the education is very arbitrary. I remember when I was in college, I took like Intro to African American Studies and a bunch of classes that I genuinely had no interest in, but I was trying to get into medical school at the time, so I needed to stack up my grades. And because my major was in chemistry, I was working so hard inside these rigorous classes that I actually needed to take just to pass the course, just to hold on to a GPA that was semi-decent, I had to become strategic about what I took outside those foundational courses like chemistry, thermodynamics, even like multivariable calculus. I had to sort of think like what would be in my best interest outside of these institutional classes. But essentially what that led to is an education that was there to accommodate the grades, not for the genuine learning. That's really unfortunate. At the end of the day, an insider institution will have a certain amount of like a game that you're playing in the sense of like trying to get your grades higher or trying to get a certain certification to stay relevant in the workforce. But ultimately, you also need to be able to genuinely do a thing to get a result. And people forget that all the time when they go to college. They're just going to college to get the degree, not to actually learn the skill. It's the skill, it's the actual execution of a task that is going to get you your long-term results in life. And a lot of these skills, you cannot learn them inside the college structure. In a weird way, as expensive as college is, it is not engineered to genuinely get you a result in life. It's a very strange thing. College helps you get through college, not actually be good at anything in the real world substantially. And so you need to prioritize getting an actual education. How do you do that? Well, there's actually 3 sub-principles I want to talk about in this regard. The first sub-principle is this: online courses. I'm a big fan of online courses. In fact, the actual progress that I made inside my career and inside my industry happened because of classes I took online. My entire coding career, my coding history came from online education. One resource that I really recommend in this regard is Course Careers. Course Careers is a partner of mine, but the reason I'm actually very passionate about them is because many of their students have gone on to get the same jobs, the same high-paying tech salaries that people who graduate out of 4-year-long degrees. They offer courses for specific high-paying careers, including software engineering, tech sales, data analytics, and a lot more. In addition to self-paced education, students get access to a network of industry professionals working in the industry who coach students, providing unlimited one-on-one and group support, and are added to an employer database where employers such as Salesforce directly request to interview top students. Salesforce is actually how I got my break in corporate, and so Course Careers is a wonderful option that I highly recommend. They've now had thousands of students land jobs and have had many 18-year-old college dropouts get high-paying tech jobs at prominent companies. If you're interested in checking out Course Careers, you can use my link in the description box below. The second idea I want to share with you is about how to actually market research the skills that you're looking for. And this simply comes down to staying on top of the industry and paying attention to what job positions are out there. In fact, I recently began studying for a new certification, the Salesforce AI Associate, and I periodically check in on the future of the industry and the market. What I came to realize is that many new certifications have been created in the last year, and just out of curiosity, I kind of want to learn some of these new Salesforce skills. I've now been living many people's dreams in terms of their work as a full-time YouTuber for a few years now. But when I quit my job in 2021 to go full-time YouTube, I already had 400,000 subscribers. And I was doing a relatively good job of managing both enterprises, working for Salesforce and running the channel. In fact, some of my best videos I made in an era where I was doing both. And I never see myself above learning a new skill, whether that's gaining a certification for Salesforce or even going back and getting like a real estate license. Even Tom Cruise has a real estate license, and I believe a big reason for his longevity as a celebrity is his continued interest in learning new skills. It's what got me into boxing, motorcycling, flying planes these last few years, and it's the same energy that's getting me curious about the world of work today. The lesson here is be willing to study the market. And sub-principle number 3, join a guild. I recently finished Dan Koh's book, The Art of Focus. It was a very cerebral take on foundational, simple ideas, but I must say I got a lot of value out of the book. And one of the ideas he shares that I like the most is him talking about guilds. Now, a guild is sort of terminology that became extra popular in World of Warcraft, and here's what Dan Koh said about it. He said, guilds are like a community. They support each other, craft strategies to win, and help you level up faster than playing alone. But you can't just join any guild. Every guild has specific needs dependent on their collective goal. If you aren't a good fit, you can't join. Guilds often join together or fight against each other, like political parties or people that subscribe to a specific diet. When people join together to form a collective self, their shared purpose can be actualized much faster. Now, in your industry, you can join a guild as well. In fact, I would even argue that if you have a 9-to-5 job and you're inside some government institution or a great building downtown, that alone can serve as a guild. The networking events surrounding a corporate job or meetups held by people in your industry can be invaluable. Additionally, Building your personal brand can be enormously beneficial in this regard. I've connected with numerous successful people because of my YouTube channel and my Instagram and what people have learned about me or what they've connected with me on during this time. If you're interested in growing your own YouTube channel and becoming a confident content creator, I have a coaching program that I've been running for 2 years now. We've seen numerous people find great success with their channels. You can learn more about it using the second link in the description box below. Even though entrepreneurship has its appeal, I think many more people are insiders than they realize. I myself, I fully consider myself an insider who's simply been forced to work from an outsider perspective because of the industry that I'm passionate about, which is filmmaking. But just because you benefit from the walls of an institution doesn't mean that you should recklessly spend your money on college. Instead, continue to study the markets, invest in true self-education, most notably through online courses and coaching, and look out for the next guild you can join that can take you to the next level. If you're new here, my name is Nikhil. This channel is about helping creative entrepreneurs get to the next level. If any of this message has resonated with you, consider subscribing. You can also follow me on Instagram, where I put more behind the scenes content about the stuff I'm working on, most notably right now, a short film project. In the thick of shooting, we're shooting our 3rd scene of 20. And lastly, I have an email newsletter that I put out once a week. It's very high quality. It's really well written. There's even beautiful images on there. It's just pure value, and I'm really proud of it. So if any of that appeals to you, you can check out those links in the description box below. But with that being said, for those of us who are willing to join guilds, invest in true self-education, and do what we can to get to the next level, to us I say, greatness is coming. We'll catch you next time.